You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host, Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts, Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
You are listening to The Money Hour at 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, November 13th virtual show. Because of COVID-19, our show is temporarily moved virtually. You can listen to our show on podcast or on air on Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We bring into studio each week the best of the best experts in our local market on everything money. We're here to help you in today's economy. And now in studio, very excited to have Ariel Hubbard of Hubbard Health Solutions, keeping business thriving in a COVID world, right here on 1150 AM KKNW. Ariel, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Keelan, for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. So a little bit about Ariel. Ariel F. Hubbard has worked as a practitioner in the holistic health field since 1988, and now teaches in-person and online continued education, as well as providing in-person and long-distance treatments in massage, energy work, and clinical hypnotherapy. As an author, she has written over 85 courses, 2 books and articles on Massage Magazine and Massage Today. She has facilitated healing workshops with clients, students, and medical professionals in clinical, academic, and corporate settings. Ariel has mentored massage therapists, healers, and health practitioners since 1995, guiding them along their path of personal development and empowerment. She is a licensed massage therapist, registered clinical hypnotherapist, and a Reiki master teacher.
Ariel, look at you, rock star. Geez Louise, 85 courses. Look at you go. I wanted to start out by and this is always an interesting question, is how you transition your business, especially in your business, when COVID hit.
So when COVID hit, I couldn't work in person, right? So I started doing a lot of public outreach, a lot of education. I did a bunch of research. I wrote 7 new courses for people in my field, but I also did a lot of public outreach, and I taught meditation courses for the public for free for 3 months. And that was to help people manage their stress, maintain a connection, and keep positive energy moving during the pandemic, right? Because we need to, all relationships and all business is relationships, and all relationships have an experience where we're sharing something, right? So I wanted to bring something positive to people.
Wonderful. And disclosure, Reiki is what you do, Ariel. So wanted to chime that in there. So Ariel, yeah, and it's so important that it is building relationships. It's building new connections, keeping old connections. And in trying times where you actually are not in a position to financially benefit right now, when you're in a position like you, that you're out there and you're giving and you're contributing any way that you possibly can, those relationships and all of that is building through this process is having a huge impact for people now, which will then have a huge impact for you moving forward in the future. So Ariel, how did you build and maintain those relationships with the people outside of what you've talked about when you couldn't see them in person?
Right. So with my students, my new people, my people I've been with for years, I reached out on social media. I called, I texted, I Facebook messaged. I went to extraordinary lengths. I kept thinking, who's going to need some support right now? Who's going to need some emotional support, energetic support, positive energy. So I just would have these intuitive ideas of who I would reach out to. So I reached out to people that I used to work with, new people that I've just met, and also people that I've been working with for years. And I would try every different medium I could think of just to connect with people and say, how are you? How are you doing during this time?
Yeah, and Ariel, people that are listening on podcasts when this comes out or on radio, and they're not actually seeing you here in this virtual, the passion that you can see in your facial expressions when you're sharing all of these things that you were doing for people in the most trying time in your business, it's beautiful, Ariel. Thank you.
Thank you. You're so sweet. And you always share. You're always incredible. What can I say?
Oh, so Ariel, I got to ask you. So, I mean, it could be very on the surface or feeling kind of on the surface. I imagine with when you have a one-on-one and you see people face to face, you have this deeper connection that you can get with people. And I wanted to get your feedback on how you establish such a deep connection with people, considering the circumstances.
Well, love and compassion go a long way. I mean, people can feel that. We call it good juju, but that's what it is. When you make an effort to share love and compassion with people, and that literally comes out of your heart, it comes out through your eyes, and it comes through your voice, right? And I also do, it's called long distance healing. It's a way to send positive energy over long distances, and I actively do that as well for people, just to interact with them and just uplift people. I did do a fun little project, super quick, I want to share. So I worked out at the Y, I was in a workout class, and all these older women were in class with me. We were all students. We couldn't work out. And I thought, you know what? I have a yoga teacher certification. I have a professional Zoom account, and I've done dance for 45 years. I'll do a little workout. And so I started teaching this little workout class 3 times a week. I thought it would be 2 weeks just to help out. It's been 8 months and I'm still doing it.
That is so awesome. And, I had this question to ask you, Ariel, and I'm going to ask it. However, I actually know what the answer is going to be, but we'll see. So in all of the industries, yours was one of the industries that was hit the hardest, yours and the restaurant industry. How did you maintain your own self of well-being in a high stress time?
So self-care is something I teach all of my clients and my students, and I practice what I preach. So I exercised a lot, right? Because I was teaching this class, so I couldn't get out of it. I didn't want the COVID-19. Exercise, meditation, adequate sleep, proper nutrition, positive outlook, and reaching out to friends and colleagues and connecting with people. All of that is really key right now.
I love how you just get boots to the ground and get busy to help people. That's fantastic. And that's what you're doing. You're making differences in people's lives. So good for you.
Thank you.
What I was going to say, Keelan, the reason that she is in such great spirit in this challenging time for her is because she's coming from a place of contribution. You're helping others, Ariel. And by doing that, you can't help to feel good and eliminate some of the stress that's naturally going to be there during these trying times for you.
Absolutely. I was kind of, meditating and thinking about, well, what can I do? I feel so out of control, like all of us have been feeling. And I was meditating and I heard you're a leader, so lead. So that's what I just started doing, right? Because people count on us. They do. They count on us. They need, you two are educators. I mean, look at this conversation around money and all the great information you share all the time, every week. I mean, people count on you to get information and support in your wisdom. I mean, it's a huge contribution. And I think everybody can make the contribution. The other guests on the show today, I learned great things. It's awesome.
Yeah, the wisdom of our show are our guest, Ariel.
So it sounds like just commitment to people in general is a huge driving force for you and your business. Can you expand on that? How do you maintain that?
Commitment is such the issue. I had to do a lot of research before I went back to work safely so that I could make sure I would protect everybody that I was working with. For me, it's all about making the world a better place, and sharing with one person at a time. And I'm always my idea is I want to help the world make a better place. And I do that through my interactions with people. And I just feel like the world needs help and people need help, and it's important to me. So that's my commitment.
Love it. So Ariel, let's talk about some changes that you have made during COVID. I mean, obviously you've expanded in more education, creating more courses, getting really creative around what you need to do to stay connected. What other changes have you made?
Basically, I also started working on some other projects. So, for all the business owners out there that are listening to this, maybe there's something that you're passionate about that you now magically have time to do because there's more time than you thought maybe. So I decided, I'm going to work on some things I really enjoy. So I created all those new meditations. I'm working on a book and a podcast, and on just some other projects because I wanted to just add to my life by doing something that inspires me. and then still work on supporting people as well.
I love that. It is interesting what people have taken up, as far as their kind of other projects and things, and people are becoming their own experts in new things just based on more time on their hands. So curious, Ariel, what was your biggest challenge during COVID for your business?
Parenting, online school for my child, and working from home and not losing my mind.
Amen on that one. I feel your pain.
That's interesting because I would have never thought that I worked from home. I've always been, the entire team needs to work in the office. We need to be there together. And I don't know that I'm going to have anybody go back. My husband wants to get me out of the house, but other than that, I think we're going to stay. It's working out really well. Ariel, so let's talk about advice that you can give to parents or business professionals, owners of businesses during COVID. As we wrap up our time here, 1 minute left that we have with you.
I'd say pick 1 to 2 goals per day. See if you can get those done. Release perfectionism and release self-judgment and judgment of other people that you're stuck in the house with, and give yourself some grace. We need to give ourselves some grace and some self-love. If it doesn't turn out the way you thought it would, let it go.
That is great advice, Ariel. I always say you got to just put it out there, and it will master itself once it's been released to the public. The mastering doesn't happen behind the scenes. It happens when you get it out there, put yourself out there. So great advice. Ariel, again, thank you so much for coming in on the show.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. And Rachel and Angel, thank you for being here as well.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And this is your host, Tina Mitchell.
And your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We are your local mortgage experts, and we got to sign off for the day. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. We look forward to talking more money with you next week, right here on 1150 AM KKNW.